In a time long past, nestled by a gentle river and rolling hills, lay a village that lived in harmony with the seasons. Life was simple and joyous, but as the snows of winter began to melt, a shadow of fear would creep into the hearts of the villagers, for they knew that with the end of winter came the awakening of the Nian, a monstrous beast from the depths of the sea. Every year, on the final night of the lunar calendar, it would storm their village, its roar echoing through the valley, devouring livestock and terrorizing all who were too slow to escape. This annual nightmare had become their bitter tradition. This year, as the dreadful night approached, the villagers once again prepared to abandon their homes. With heavy hearts, they packed their few belongings and began the long, sorrowful journey to their hiding places in the high mountains. But as the last villager left, an old man with a flowing white beard and eyes full of tranquility walked into the now empty village. He saw one small child who had been too scared to run but too brave to hide completely, peering at him from behind a doorway. The old man offered a warm smile and said nothing, but his peaceful presence calmed the child's trembling heart. He beckoned to the few elderly and frail who had stayed behind, unable to make the journey. To them, he revealed a secret. He held up a piece of vibrant red silk and explained, "The fearsome Nian is not without weakness. It is terrified of this color." He then took a stalk of dry bamboo and threw it into a fire. It burst with a loud pop. "And it is terrified of loud noises," he continued, his eyes twinkling, "and it fears the bright, dancing light of fire." Hope, a feeling long forgotten on this night, sparked in the villagers' hearts. Working together, they followed the old man's instructions. They adorned every door and window with strips of red paper and cloth. They built bonfires that blazed brightly, casting out the shadows. As darkness fell, the Nian beast rose from the water, its shadow falling upon the land. It charged towards the village, expecting to find it dark and deserted. Instead, it was met with a dazzling, shocking sea of red. It paused, confused. Then, the villagers began throwing bamboo into the fires. A continuous barrage of loud, sharp cracks and pops filled the air. The beast, overwhelmed by the color it despised and the noise it couldn't bear, let out a cry of terror. It turned and fled, scrambling back into the blackness of the sea, never to be seen again. The sun rose the next morning on a scene of quiet disbelief, which soon erupted into joyous celebration. The villagers had not just survived, they had conquered their fear. To celebrate this victory, they prepared a magnificent feast, sharing all the food they had. This became the very first New Year's Eve reunion dinner. The following day, they went from house to house, greeting their neighbors with smiles and good wishes, overjoyed to see each other safe and sound. And so, a night of terror was transformed into a time of joyous celebration. The traditions of hanging red decorations, lighting lanterns, and setting off firecrackers were born not just to keep evil away, but to remember the moment that a small village shows courage over fear and community over despair. Remember to subscribe for more amazing content.